Good morning, everyone. Over the last couple of years, the technology industry is on a roller coaster ride. COVID created massive uncertainties and was followed by one of the fastest growth period for the technology industry, with several companies reaching $1 trillion in market capitalization and thousands of unicorns. And then you had a massive slowdown in 2022 for inflation, Fed rate increase, the war, created the uncertainties, and companies are lost between 30 to 70% of their market share. However, all of this resulted in a massive increase in pace of innovation, and digital transformation enabled consumers, enterprises, academia, and government to navigate the tough environment created during COVID. However, we think we are moving from the initial phase of digital transformation to the next phase, and for the lack of better word, we call it DD 2.0. Over the next few minutes, I will talk about our vision for DT 2.0, and Nischay will talk about the role of HIA in driving digital 2.0 going forward. Before we talk about digital transformation 2.0, let's talk about what happened in TD 1.0. And it started with the buzzword SMAC: social, mobile, analytics, and cloud. And many of these buzzwords kept up with the hype of the industry, and we have seen massive growth in terms of cloud adoption. And cloud is really the foundation of DD 1.0, with enterprises, software companies moving into cloud and even moving into a multi-cloud environment. Over $200 billion is spent just this year in building out the cloud infrastructure. Not just in the cloud, but also on the edge computing side, be it mobile phones or in terms of sensors, there has been a rapid amount of innovation over the last few years. And the key example of DD 1.0 is how it enabled the creation of vaccine over Zoom calls and Teams calls. But however, this also created a next set of challenges, and I will talk about some of the challenges because partly during the last phase of digital transformation and partly for other reasons. The first one is the contextual switching individuals have to do at this time, and everyone is tired of Zoom calls and Teams calls. And some of the managers who went on a power trip and had meetings for even minor decision making, as well as for status updates. So every individual is context switching continuously throughout the day, and it's been proven that frequent context switching reduces the creativity, reduces a person's effectiveness, and impacts judgment. The second one is the rapid growth of technology also resulted in massive challenges with cybersecurity. The number of security breaches has increased dramatically over the last few years, and each data breach is costing over $9 million for the enterprises in the US. And the third one, the rapid adoption of technology, be it companies building their own technology or they're using third-party technology, has resulted in a lot of technology silos in the organization and created a very complex enterprise architecture. And to make any changes to this, it's complex, time-consuming, expensive, and error-prone. So that's another big challenge. And the fourth challenge is the amount of computing and networking hardware created during digital transformation 1.0 has also created a massive amount of e-waste. And not just that, but also the software, the computing required for driving machine learning, driving, just running Bitcoin software consumes a lot of electricity. And not just these issues, but also the continuous stress of work also resulted in a massive mental health crisis across the world over the last 2 years. Many of these challenges, and we believe that the tools required to solve these challenges are already here. If you look at a basic 2x2 matrix, so one is in terms of looking at the enterprise demand, and second one is looking at innovation intensity. There are several technologies which are getting ready for prime time. For example, if you take automation, it's a move from a legacy RPA to integrate agile workflows, intelligent document processing, process discovery and intelligence, low-code, no-code, and other technologies. Now, similarly, AI is moved from core research to applied AI, and AI is used across various use cases in an enterprise. Even though Web 3.0 had a lot of issues recently, and the initial set of companies, many of these companies went out of business or just fraud. However, the underlying technology around Web 3.0 is very, very promising, which can be adopted to be used in enterprises going forward. So a lot of these technologies are coming together, and also if you look at clean tech, it's going to play a big role as ESG becomes a key paradigm for investors and other stakeholders and companies. Clean tech will play a major role going forward. And we believe that DD 2.0 will go beyond just efficiency and productivity objectives of the first phase to really provide what we call as integrated experience outcomes for stakeholders across, be it customers, employees, partners, and investors. Let's look at what we mean by integrated experience outcomes. The first type of outcome is reducing the cognitive overload for individuals and providing a set of curated recommendations about what the next best action to be. So the idea is to reduce the amount of decisions an individual make on a daily basis, where technology is allowing that decision for the individual. So that's going to be one big integrated experience outcome you're looking at. The second part of that is the collaboration between humans and machines. An example of that could be DALL-E, which is an open AI-based system which uses descriptive language and uses generative AI to create art of various types. And think of that complementing a very strong analytical person, a programmer, but able to use this technology to create art. On the other side, if you have a very strong creative person who can use descriptive language to create programs using your GitHub Copilot. So at some level, the technology will complement the human skills based on which areas they need to really get better. Third, we also believe DD 2.0 is really going to enable organizations to drive innovation. Today, if you think of how companies drive innovation, they run a hackathon and they come up with idea days. They figure out all these ideas, and these are ideas which are created by humans understanding a certain type of context. Think of a scenario, your technology understands all the data which is being created by the company, your partners, your customers, and then using this data and then applying the company context is able to automatically create a set of ideas which could be curated by the humans. It could be an incremental process improvement. It could be for a breakthrough idea. So very interesting adoption of DD 2.0 will be around innovation. And finally, the most important thing is allowing one of the experience outcomes is about people making sustainable choices. And we believe DD 2.0 will integrate sustainability as part of the outcome they provide to the customers or employees and other stakeholders in the organization. And let's look at a couple of examples. If you think of you're going into a luxury shop and you're having a conversation with the designer in that particular person, and the designer is having a conversation with you, and then also thinking about what is the right product for you, which will suit your needs. But imagine that you are having the same conversation in a metaverse, and AI is listening to your conversation with the designer and is now curating the right set of products and bringing it to you. And then you're able to buy those products from them, the physical product, which is shipped to you, and the digital product you buy, the clothes you buy, it's now on an NFT, and you can use that product when you're playing a game in Fortnite or other metaverse worlds where you are in. So in some level, DD 2.0 will integrate the physical world and digital world seamlessly and provide an integrated experience, not just for the consumer who's going in, but also the designer who's interacting with the consumer. In this scenario, is an employee of the particular brand. Similarly, think of you walking into a subway, but you are walking into a subway in a metaverse now, where you're able to get very similar experience in choosing the sandwich you want to buy, and you're able to then automatically trigger an order a request to Uber Eats, and Uber Eats is able to deliver that to your home. So we believe that if you look at DD 1.0, there are a lot of focus on customer experience, but the customer experience was really only in the user experience layer. A lot of what happens after that was very manual. And we believe that in DD 2.0, the experience will include use of AI and automation in the backend processes. And that is really when you're delivering a true experience to any of the stakeholder. And over the next few minutes, Nischay will talk about how automation now comes into play in providing this integrated experience outcomes for all the various stakeholders. Over to you, Nischay.
Thanks, Pari. So we have seen that enterprises today are evolving the way they think about digital transformation. And with the dawn of DD 2.0, the enterprises need to place their bets very strategically. It is interesting to note that automation is becoming a key architect in the enterprise digital transformation journeys today. We recently conducted a comprehensive survey with more than 250 CXOs globally, and more than 64% of the CXOs dubbed intelligent automation as the top technology priority within their digital transformation charters. And this was way ahead compared to other technology areas such as IoT, robotics, 5G, metaverse, among others. This showcases the importance that automation has in transforming businesses today and how it has truly become the core of DD 2.0. Consequently, the global enterprise spend towards intelligent automation today stands at more than $20 billion. This will grow at a massive CAGR of 50% and reach upwards of $180 billion over the next 5 years. The supply ecosystem is further fueling the maturity and adoption of automation. There are currently more than 1,400 platform companies spread across the globe, which includes both specialist best-of-breed platform companies and even generalist platforms. There has been high interest from venture capital and private equity community within the space, pulling in close to $17 billion since 2021. The platform companies have been spending this money primarily in research and development in order to build cutting-edge products, and also driving mergers and acquisitions in order to bring in new technology capabilities, acquire talent, enter a new geography, or for consolidation. Given the dynamic nature of the market, we believe that the very definition of automation is constantly evolving. The current avatar of automation, that is hyper-intelligent automation, or HIA as we like to call it, is helping enterprises drive integrated experience outcomes powered by agile configurable workflows, and this is built on top of a converged technology stack. Let's take an example of a loan application process in a bank and see how automation is transforming the process. For the automation of the loan application process, multiple technologies come together. For instance, RPA is there for record keeping, verification, and updation of bank data. IDP, or intelligent document processing, is helping scan loan documents, government IDs, and other documents. Low-code, no-code is helping build self-service portals and dashboards. And chatbots are helping communicate with the customers. In a completely mature state, a customer can directly apply for a loan via a self-service portal and track real-time updates of their loan application status, which leads to a much faster loan approval and thereby delivering a stellar customer experience. On the other hand, for the employees, also there are a lot of highly manual and cumbersome work streams, such as document handling, such as data entry and verification tasks, and all of these are automated, which again leads to enhancing the employee experience. So this is how automation helps improve both the customer experience and employee experience, thereby powering an integrated experience outcome. In addition, imagine a scenario where the loan application workflow is personalized depending on the persona of the customer. The workflow can be streamlined for a repeat customer vis-a-vis a new customer, and for a high net worth individual or a premium customer, There can be hyper personalization with auto approved credit limits for larger loans and quicker dispersal. This is how automation helps in triggering different customer journeys depending on the personas involved. While we see that automation provides enterprises with immense value, it comes with its own set of challenges which are spread across organization, process, and technology. Out of these, organizational and process-related challenges emerged as the more profound ones, as per our CXO survey. Within organizational challenges, bulk of the enterprises struggle with the lack of a defined automation vision and ownership, while from a process standpoint, 64% of the enterprises struggled with fragmented processes which are spread across multiple geographies and functions. Comparing this to the last year's survey results, we can see that few of the challenges have become more amplified, while a few others are on the downward trend. So the big question is, how can enterprises navigate through these challenges? There is a four-pronged approach that we have come up with. Enterprises must define the vision for the automation program in a holistic manner. They should leverage process intelligence, focus on integrated experience outcomes, and agile configurable workflows. It is imperative to set up an automation center of excellence or COE to drive program design, execution, and governance. And lastly, a converged ownership structure is imperative for governance and scaling the automation program. We will now go through each of these four prongs in detail. While defining the automation vision, technology leaders must work in tandem with the business leaders to understand and align to the high-level strategic goals and most critical business metrics of the company. In addition, it must be ensured that automation does not become a siloed initiative and it is stitched together with the overall digital transformation program, working in tandem with other technologies such as metaverse, such as Web3, cloud, among others. Lastly, the envisioned benefits from automation should go beyond cost and time savings and focus on delivering integrated experience outcomes for all stakeholders. Eaton is a great case in point here, where the company's automation strategy is aligned with the broader digital transformation strategy, and they have an integrated approach of using digital technologies such as IoT, AI/ML, and automation to optimize power management. And they've derived tremendous benefits spanning customers, employees, and partners with this approach. Coming to the second prong, we believe that process intelligence is extremely critical to help enterprises prioritize integrated experience outcomes. While today most enterprises leverage process intelligence for identifying inefficiencies in the processes and focusing more on ROI, process intelligence can actually help enterprises prioritize use cases, which helps prioritize and maximize the experience for their customers, employees, and partners. Oswald Bank did just that by visualizing more than 900 critical business processes and prioritizing processes for deployment of automation, really based on opportunities for customer and employee experience. Process intelligence also helps in creating agile configurable workflows. If you look at Wizz Air, which is Europe's fastest growing airlines, they use process mapping to document more than 1,100 processes and were able to enable deeply contextual and personalized flight experiences for their customers. Given the promise that process intelligence holds, we see a massive uptake in adoption by enterprises. As per our CXO survey, the penetration rate has already grown from 31% earlier to 54% today. And this is expected to grow almost 1.5 times to reach more than 80% by 2024. Next, building a center of excellence or COE is critical to meaningfully drive the program design, execution, and governance. COEs are the custodians of automation programs, and as the enterprises set out to design the program, the COE can own the automation programs, define the vision, and also prioritize the business outcomes targeted. For a smooth execution, enterprises must carefully select the best fit automation platform and implementation partners. Enterprises also need to think about orchestrating multiple platforms they work with to avoid implementation and integration challenges. Lastly, change management is one of the most important components for the success of an automation programs, and COEs can work very closely with the various teams to clearly communicate the value of automation, plan for reskilling, upskilling initiatives, alleviate fears of people who have been impacted by automation. The success of the COE-led model is getting accepted now, and hence approximately half of the companies that have undertaken automation have also set up a COE. And lastly, coming to the ownership structure, automation initiatives at companies are today siloed and typically spread across three personas, which includes line of business or LOB or operations leaders, technology leaders, and GBS or shared services leaders. These three personas have various natural advantages and strength areas and their own ways of driving an automation program. LOB, for example, is largely focused on the business outcomes and have deep process understanding. Technology leaders, on the other hand, mostly have a tools-first approach and bring in the best-of-class tools and technology. And finally, the GBS or shared services leaders have deep process excellence approach and lots of cross-functional capabilities. Now, for a successful automation program, siloed ownership is not very effective, and hence we need a convergence of these three personas. And the COE leader should ideally be able to bring together and orchestrate the natural strength areas of these three personas and thereby scale the automation program. So this is the four-pronged playbook that enterprises can leverage to scale their automation programs. And finally, I just wanted to leave you with thoughts on what's in store for hyper-intelligent automation and give you a glimpse into the future. We're still scratching the surface with automation, and we will see a near universal uptake from enterprises by 2025. Automation programs will be increasingly driven top-down as it gathers more executive attention. Enterprises will become more structured in running their automation programs led by COEs and globally distributed teams. The platform adoption will tip in the favor of best-of-breed specialist platforms. And we will witness enterprises prioritizing for integrated experience outcomes, including a holistic focus on customer experience, employee experience, and partner experience. Thank you.